Hello friends, bienvenidos. My name is Jen, aka Jen Kahlo on social media, your local witchy friend and intuitive guide through the occult. As always, my lovely husband and co-host is David, aka Premier Pulls on social media.
Hey everyone, on today's episode, Jen explains Glamor Magick.
Welcome to the show, grab a chair, make yourself at home. Jen's got stories to share, you'll never feel alone.
So as you know, if you heard the episode last week, we had a giveaway and we only had 2 entries, but we are so excited to receive them. Thank you so much to everyone that participated.
But what a wonderful 2 entries, and I think we love them so much that we've decided that everybody's a winner today. So when we read your story, please go ahead and comment or reach out to Genesis and let her know that you would like to redeem your free reading. So another really exciting thing that we actually talked about a little bit earlier in the day is this is going to be our 21st episode. And when we first started doing the podcast, we looked online to see, what you need to do a podcast, what makes a successful podcast. And one of the things that we set as an original goal, because this is what we saw online, was that most podcasts don't live past their 21st episode. So I'm really excited to hit that milestone, and we definitely have a lot more episodes in store. So we made it.
Yes, so the first milestone is episode 3, and then the second milestone is episode 21. So I'm so excited that we've hit both those milestones in this podcast.
Me too. I was doing the math, and yeah, we've been doing this for about 5 months. We're coming up on half a year, so super exciting time. Thank you again. I know I say it every episode, but I really just want to thank all our listeners. I want to thank everybody who supports us. We hear wonderful stories from everybody, including the ones we're about to read right now. And just thank you so much. I just checked before we started recording, and I think we're at a total of about 823 listens total. So thank you so much. That's that's quite a bit of support. So we really appreciate it. Also, full disclosure, as we are recording, there is a lightning and thunderstorm. So if you hear some rain or thunder in the background, it's just there to set the mood.
Yes, definitely. But now we want to read both entries from the giveaway, so I'll let David start.
Yeah, and as a reminder, this is from last week's episode where we talked about love spells and love potions, so very appropriate for Valentine's. So I want to share these stories that we had submitted to us. So Mercy, she said, this episode was so funny. The agua de calzón discussion almost took me out. Then David's reaction to the amarros with the phallic-shaped candles happened. OMG, I was giggling so much. It's so scary to think that I met Justin 10 years ago. Justin is their husband. 10 years ago in a social dance class at Fresno State. Whenever I tell anyone our love story, I always preface by saying that it's cheesy and I'm not one to believe in destiny. But I truly feel like we were meant to meet and be together. First of all, I am an incredibly anxious person, so the fact that I allowed myself to even sign up for a dance class to begin with is truly a miracle. Justin wasn't originally enrolled in my class, but fate brought him in late, feeling the need for more men in the class during his 1-hour break between classes. Then during one memorable class activity called Musical Men, where partners were chosen by high fives, Justin became my first partner. When Justin grabbed my hand to find a place to dance in the classroom, his touch ignited an inexplicable spark within me. I was left feeling so confused and intrigued by the electricity between us. From that moment on, I found myself drawn to Justin, captivated by our conversation and the undeniable chemistry between us. His invitation to hang out with him and a friend marked the beginning of our journey together, and since then we've been inseparable. Wow, I read that story and I was like, first off, Mercy, you have a way to paint with words. Maybe we should bring you on the podcast. That's beautiful. Such a touching story, and kind of just interesting how those little things, those little decisions can make such a big difference and can alter your life. So wonderful story. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yes, that's wonderful. And I'm so excited to do a synastry reading session with you guys, just to see what is in your chart and what aligned you two to be in such a magical place and time and now have a whole life together. That's so exciting.
Also, Mercy, I'm going to call you out a little bit. I hope you're listening to this. You still have not redeemed your astrocartography reading. We're going to have to start putting expiration dates on these things. But no, on a serious note, go ahead and reach out to Genesis because you have 2 freebies.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, these giveaways are legit. I normally charge like $60 for a 30-minute session. So if we ever have another giveaway, just know you could win big. So next is Janet. Janet said, my fiance and I have a bit of an interesting love story. We met almost 4 years ago, all because I rescued him. It was not a life or death situation, but there was a very thirsty woman that was after him the night we met. I was in my single girl era and he was in his fuck love era. I was very happy and living my life fully on my journey knowing myself. So we met at a restaurant called Almond Tree in Atwater, and I was at a table with my friends and he was at the table next to ours. I did see him but paid no mind. All I know is that he did not look like a happy camper, but despite his sad face, that man can dance. Ooh, we have two
dancers.
Wow. Maybe that's, if you're single, go to a dance class, go to a club, go do something where you have to move your body. He was very entertaining to watch. All of a sudden, a woman walked up to their table and reached over across the table and grabbed him. He was not happy about it. All of his friends were pushing him out to go dance with her, but he was not feeling it. But peer pressure won, and he went out on the dance floor with her. She was very handsy, but he kept removing her hands from him. I have never seen a woman so desperate and a man swerve a woman so hard. I was laughing even though I felt bad for him. You can clearly see he was not into her. The girl I was sitting next to commented that he was kind of cute. I looked at him and I agreed, he is cute. I took one look at my friends and told them, watch me get his number without trying. I asked his friends if they knew the woman and they all said no. I told them that I felt bad for his friends and they just laughed. When he took a seat, I initiated the conversation with him and I asked him what his sign is. He stared at me with a smirk and said, Sagittarius. I was like, okay. We continued our conversation and I flipped my phone and told him, put your number in my phone, and he just stared into his eyes. He smiled and gave me his number. We danced together and the thirsty woman was coming back. I told him that his girlfriend was coming back and asked him what he was going to do. He turned me around and held on to me while we continued to dance. I shooed the woman away from him and told her he was mine. She did not put up a fight and went to talk to the DJ. This was March 14th, 2020, the last weekend before lockdown. Wow, talk about perfect timing right before the cutoff. We were pandemic partners. It was a friendship that I never thought would go in this amazing direction. I was happy to be around him, but terrified to fall in love again. And I can tell that he was too. We told each other everything. He became my best friend. He confused his feelings for me, but I turned him down. I just wasn't ready and felt that he would be like others. We took a break and reunited a few weeks later and have been inseparable ever since. The night he confessed his love for me, I reciprocated. I was head over heels in love. We have never argued and are healing each other's Chiron signs in Gemini. We both struggle with communication, but we are healing ourselves and each other. We have never had an argument, just a few disagreements. We are ourselves with no judgment. We laugh, play, joke, cry, and have deep, meaningful conversations. It's all unconditional love. We are so strong and appreciate each other's very different points of views. Since we have been together, nothing has changed. We are still very much best friends. The first healthy relationship we have both been in. We are engaged and already building a future for our family. I love him deeply and more every day. I'm truly blessed to have found my soulmate.
That is such a wonderful story. Super cute. Both great stories, both dancing. While you were reading Janet's story, I kind of got a sense of that, You know that scene in Finding Nemo where the seagulls are like, mine, 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 mine?
Yes.
That's kind of the vibe that I got. But no, awesome stories. Thank you so much for sharing those. And what a privilege, right, to be able to have this podcast and have people share, they're very nice moments, but very intimate moments. So I really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. I love hearing about love. I love seeing that people are in healthy relationships where they are loved unconditionally and as themselves. So for any single people out there, it is possible. Maybe just go to a dance class.
All right. So with that said, that was a little bit longer, but the good thing is that this episode has a lot of overlap with things we've already talked about, including color magic and crystals. More of the tangible things that you've shared with me and educated me on. I feel like I'm an expert now. I was actually re-listening to our Color Magic episode maybe like a week or two ago, and I was really impressed. There's a lot of cool things that I learned. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm guessing it's a little bit along those lines.
There is some color magic in Glamor Magick, yes.
Perfect. All right. So let's not keep the people waiting. What is Glamor Magick?
So Glamor Magick, to summarize it, is a subtle form of magic where you can shift how other people perceive you. So not like completely shapeshift, but shift other people's perceptions of you. Bringing your inner magic or intentions into your outer appearance.
So it's like a metaphysical flex?
More like yeah, I guess if you want to use flex or like metaphysical shape-shifting your aura maybe.
Okay, that's not what I thought it was. So let me just get maybe a deeper understanding. So it's taking the internalized part of your metaphysical or spiritual or witchiness and putting it out to the world.
Yeah. So for example, if this is getting a little bit more technical really rapidly, but it's fine. I'll get started. So Glamor Magick basically can help you achieve your goals based on how you look. So for example, let's say that you charge a lipstick with the intention of like, I want to be persuasive. You can put the lipstick on, and then when you wear it, you happen to be more persuasive and people see like your point of view. Or you could also charge it and say like, I want to enhance my inner beauty and my natural beauty, and for people to be more like mesmerized by me or more like enamored by me. They're not getting like crazy cosmetic surgery, right? Like, but they're charging this item and putting it on, and if you do it correctly, people can find you more beautiful.
You know what it's giving for me? I'm a big nerd and I love Batman. Batman has been my favorite superhero for the longest time, but I guess more recently he's been a little more controversial just because he's a billionaire beating up street level thugs. But I'm getting way out of... I digress. There's a villain in Batman. Her name is Poison Ivy, and her power is basically she has like a pheromone that makes men fall in love with her. So when she releases that pheromone, they kind of do whatever she says. They're enamored by her. And then if she kisses them, they die. But that's kind of what I'm getting. It's just maybe that, like, obviously that's a fictional character, but kind of that vibe.
Yeah, that's actually very similar. And Glamor Magick isn't just like visual. It could also be like with smells and things like that. Like different perfumes, different oils, like basically what you put on your body or how you style your vessel, if you will.
Okay, so this is where my maybe not skeptic, but this is where my rational take comes in. I think that how we present ourselves to the world, both in our speech, our dress, our appearance, can convey so much. So, well, I'm sure we're going to get into like the glamour or the magic part of it. I think that's kind of inherent, right? If you're going to a job interview, you're not going to dress raggedy. And if you do, it's probably not going to go well. I know for smell, most people are very sensitive to smells. If you go on a first date and don't shower, people might not call you on that second date. So I think there's definite truth with like what you put on your body, what you present to the world has a direct impact on kind of what you want. But I guess you're going to describe more of the intentionality behind it, right?
Yes, definitely. So it's a little bit different than if you just like dress to the nines, right? Like while that is effective, like there is such a thing as pretty privilege. Or if you're more casual, people like might not take you so seriously. That's why when you go to court, you have to dress up and stuff like that, right? Like it adds that extra oomph that you can't get just by cleaning up nice. And it's a specific intention. Like I specifically want this or that. I mean, people have been doing this for like ages. I remember, I don't know why this is the first example because it's not glamorous, but just like an example of like how people will care about their appearance. Back in ancient China, like if you had a round belly, you were seen as like powerful because you had like so much food to eat that you had a gut, also full of wisdom. So people would like pad their stomachs to seem like more wise, more powerful. Same thing in like, you know, old French times, like right before the French Revolution, like, you know, powerful people, short kings would wear heels, right? To feel like taller and like more powerful than other people, right? So,
but it's all the zeitgeist, right? It's all what's modern. You know, maybe 30, 50 years from now, we're going to look back at Brazilian butt lifts and say, this is what people used to do to present some kind of image or something. It just really goes with the times, right?
Yeah, but Glamor Magick specifically is more than just like, I want to be hot. That can be a part of it, but like it can have more specific intentions behind it. I'm just going to get into it because I feel like this is going to make more sense if I just get into it. So, for example, my favorite way to my like lazy girl hack on how to do this, because some people are intense and they'll make like their own, for example, makeup. If you want to use makeup with your Glamor Magick, like they will choose all the ingredients, they'll like make it a specific color, like they'll do it during like certain times, days, seasons. Like that's really intense.
But that's pretty awesome though. I think, right, getting to the root element, kind of like we talked about in our apothecary, like some of those root things, some of those basic building blocks have so much weight and could hold a lot of intention, like we've talked about.
Yeah, no, that's super awesome, but not everyone like can afford the materials. Not everyone knows how to do it. So I'm gonna give kind of like my quick and easy Glamor Magick suggestions. But yeah, if you have the time to like really make your own products, choose like the specific elements within the product, like more power to you. That's amazing, but that takes like a lot of time and a lot of energy, but that can be more potent because you're like actually making it, right? But I want to show how Glamor Magick can be accessible with what you already have. So I'm not going to tell people how to like make a lipstick from scratch.
Okay.
So my favorite way to do Glamor Magick, which I haven't done since the pandemic, but I definitely want to start up again, is to take products that you already have and charge them under a full moon with like specific intentions. So very similar to crystals, like they get juiced up, and depending on what you want to do and like what moon is it, like a full moon in Capricorn would be better for like manifesting success and money, and then like a full moon in Libra might be better for like manifesting like love and beauty, right? But anyway, so you charge it under a full moon, whatever moon you want that to be. And then after that, you have specific intentions. So I'm going to go through like a step-by-step tutorial of maybe like what I would do, right? So you want to start with your primer. So for folks that don't wear makeup, a primer basically makes sure that your makeup doesn't move. So if I was putting on a primer, I'm a very anxious person, right? So I would maybe want to charge my primer with the intent of like, every time I put on this primer, I am unshaken. My makeup will be unshaken because literally that's a primer's job, but also like my poker face will be unshaken. So if I'm anxious, I won't show it.
And it's also a foundation.
It's before the foundation, so it's really like
okay.
the foundation.
Okay.
Yeah, in that sense. So yeah, that'll hold it together. And then after that, let's say I wanted to enchant an eyeliner. I could say something like, every time I put this eyeliner on, I can see past any manipulation and hidden agendas, or I can convince people to see things my way, or I can look at an ordinary situation and find the opportunity and like create a business opportunity from it, whatever intention you want to be. So like an example, right? Eyeliner with the eyes. And then let's say like the lips, maybe every time I put on this lipstick, it has the intention to convince people to see my point of view, or have people just straight up listen to me like poison ivy and do whatever the heck I want them to. And then let's say like a highlighter to naturally enhance like my beauty, for me to seem more beautiful than I am, to highlight the beauty within and have it like manifest in the outward like perception and projection of how people see me. So depending on what intentions you want for each product, like that's an example of how you can do quick and easy glamour magic.
Could you also do that with your clothing? Like maybe if you're washing it, throw in something that's safe for the wash, obviously, but like maybe some sort of oil or some sort of rose petal or something like that?
I guess that could be glamour magic. We're actually going to get into that with our water magic episode.
Oh, okay.
So
Perfect.
we'll save that. But glamour magic is a little more like glamour.
Yeah. You know what's funny? You just mentioned water. As you were describing what it was also giving me like, and don't ask me how I know this, but I wasn't looking up. I came across how they make holy water, and that shit comes from the tap. Like, they filled up this vessel, and I was like, oh man, that's straight from the tap. And then they bless it. I personally don't believe in holy water, but obviously it's sacred. It's literally sacred. It's, in the churches, it's, oh no, you know what? They put salt and tap water, and I was just so amazed. But yeah, it's the intentionality. It's the charging, right? Mm-hmm. What makes it from tap water to holy water? It's literally the priest blessing it or doing whatever magic they do to it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like that?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
It's all intention and charging. I mean, if you're like, damn, I want this for tomorrow and we don't have a full moon for another 25 days, like, you can also burn a candle and have your makeups like...
That's what I was going to ask. Oh my gosh, we are on the same wavelength. I was going to say, if there's not like a moon, can you put it like on your altar with a candle?
Yeah, absolutely. Or if you work with like a spirit team, you can like put an offering and then your items and be like, hey, can you like help me charge this, whoever you're working with? Like there's so many ways to charge your items. It's really like up to you. My personal favorite is working with the moon though.
Nice. Also, for full disclaimer, for anybody who does wear makeup, clean your shit. I don't know why I know this also, but if you have dirty ass makeup and you're not cleaning it or wiping down, you can get like nasty skin infections. So clean your stuff.
You've probably seen it on TikTok.
I think that's what it is with like the blending sponges who never get washed. Ugh.
Yeah, part of glamour magic is also hygiene, please. But for folks that don't wear makeup, you could do the same thing with like your skincare routine. Like every time I use this moisturizer, I'm gonna blah blah blah. The glamour magic piece that I have used even through the pandemic to this day is I charge certain perfumes. So I have like my everyday perfume, like I work from home. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever, call it a day. But then I have my like, I'm going to go out. And that one specifically is like to bring me luck. And it's made with oranges or, supposedly like notes of orange, whatever that means. So oranges can represent like, fruitfulness, abundance, good luck. So I spray it on when I'm going to go out and do something. And yeah, it's been really good.
What about someone like me who only uses one soap for everything?
You're 18 in one? You're 27 in one?
No, I've diversified, but for a while, like I think a lot of men, they have like the 3-in-1, the 4-in-1. I think I had up to a 5-in-1 one time. And as far as colognes, I usually try to finish a cologne. I don't really have a diversification of colognes right now. What am I using right now? Yves Saint Laurent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. Okay, cool. I like that. I like that. I like that it's pragmatic. And again, while I don't necessarily believe in the magic part of it, I think intentionality does matter. If you feel good, you look good, you present good to the world. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. Whether it's what you're saying or, as I'm saying, intentionality. But it's cool. It sounds like a lot of work. I know when I worked from, I'm very fortunate to work from home. So going out isn't always on the top of my priority list. There are days where it gets a little sketchy. But when I was going out, I do remember a big hassle was just getting ready, right? And I think like a lot of us, especially a lot of Americans, we're on the go. So even, again, if it's not for the magic aspect, just taking some time, maybe as a meditation or self-reflection, to really put intentionality into what you're putting on your body can go a long way. Because, again, when I was getting ready for work, back when I used to work in person, I mean, I was always, I wouldn't say rushing, but the least work I could do, the best, right? Comb my hair, brush my teeth, put on clean clothes, clean in parentheses. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
And then something you mentioned earlier, like, can color magic play a part into this? Can, like, herbalism play a part into this? Yes. So if, like, let's say you do want to, like, manifest love, you're going out to that dance class or you're going out to the club, like, it would make sense to lean more into, like, reds and pinks. It would make sense if something has, like, a rose essence to, like, use that. Like, yeah, absolutely. All of that makes sense. And it's also not just, like, what you use, but also, like, how you apply it. So, like, again, let's say you're trying to get lucky at a dance studio, right? Your concealer, you have to slather that on, or your foundation, you have to slather that on anyway. Why not draw it in the shape of a heart and also add intention and then blend it out?
I like that. Oh, that's cool. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Yeah. Look at you with all the glamour tips and tricks.
And then to go back to what you said, what if I just wear like one? It's like, yeah, you could charge that one and use it every day. I just personally, like, I put the energy into it, right? So, like, when I work from home or where I'm, like, kind of greasy and I just, like, want to go out and, like, pick up a box of cereal, like, I don't want to use, like, my special charged, like, fragrance or lip balm or whatever when I already know, like, the other part of me is, like, greasy and I'm just trying to, like, get in and get out from Target, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I have two personally. But if you only have one, why not? It reminds me of something that I think your mom said recently, like, what's the special occasion? Well, every day that I'm alive, it's the special occasion. So who cares if you haven't showered in 3 days? That's not, that's not a reason not to wear your enchanted perfume.
But also, please shower. Don't wait 3 days to shower. That goes out to all our listeners. Cool. I really like this. I much like the crystal episode, this one I think is really cool because it's something tangible. I think with metaphysical things, rituals, spells, sometimes it's hard to conceptualize because it's kind of, I mean, really they're all just thought experiments. But when it gives something tangible, something physical, it gives it a little more, I don't want to say validity, but it's easier to understand for me for sure. Awesome. Well, I think that's really good. Good job explaining that. I totally got it. And I didn't, again, we don't really talk about the episodes beforehand because we want to save it all for the podcast. So I kind of had a different understanding of what it was. And my examples, now that I know what it is, don't really line up, but I still want to share them with you. So the first one is kind of speaking about love in the air. Do you remember when we first started dating, what one of our favorite pastimes was with one another?
Oh my God, this is like 8 years ago and I can barely remember yesterday. I know that we used to like to go to comedy clubs. We used to like to go to the beach when we actually had a beach near us.
Well, do you remember for the longest time that I would do your nails?
That's right. Yes, you did my nails for like a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I thought, and by do her nails, not like a full manicure, even though I am Vietnamese, and I think that I should know a little bit more about nails, but I would just paint them, which I thought I did a decent job.
Yeah, no, you did a great job. Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. Yes, he would do such a great job. He would like, that wouldn't intimidate your masculinity or everything. You were just like, yeah, I got you, because I could do my left hand right, but like I can't do my right hand. But he ended up doing both hands, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, I definitely remember that. But as we were doing this episode, I kind of thought, like, basically Glamor Magick was, not charging, but I was a little more under the impression that it was just having to do with like makeup. And I thought, well, while that wasn't maybe magic, it was definitely a special moment for us. For me, at least. Obviously, you forgot, but
no,
I'm messing with you. But do you remember how that brought us really close together?
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember sometimes I'd just be like, babe, surprising. And you came out with like really cool combinations and stuff. He's a little artist. He's got an artistic side to him for sure. And side note, nails can be a part of Glamor Magick. Absolutely.
Kind of the same thing like you talked about, maybe charge the color. And that can be,
or even just pick the right color.
Color magic and Glamor Magick, right?
Eventually, y'all, now that we're like on episode 21, you could see how so many things are freaking connected.
Oh, yeah. So was there any magic in our little ritual with me painting your nails?
I didn't have a specific intention. Yeah. It was just fun. Yeah. It was cute. It was great.
Bonding. I mean, it was cute. It was fun. Something for us to do. But I think that really did bring us together. It was very intimate, right? Holding your partner's hands and basically putting something on their body that it's not forever, but it's going to be there for a little bit. So the intentionality behind that is really cute. So maybe an activity you can do with your partner, if one of you has painted nails or both of you have painted nails, paint each other's nails with intentionality, and there's your Glamor Magick right there.
You said not forever, and that just got the wheels turning. If you wanted to be like hardcore and you know what you want for sure, I guess a tattoo or permanent makeup, which is a form of a tattoo, could be like permanent Glamor Magick.
Yeah. All right, and then my other example is this weekend I introduced Genesis to the wonderful movie of Holes. She had not seen it yet, and I was very shocked, but she really liked it. And as we were watching the movie, there's a scene where the warden, she has her little, again, nail polish that's dipped in rattlesnake oil, and she uses that to she scratched her worker and basically messed up his face. And I kind of thought about that while we were doing this episode. So that's actually called assault, not Glamor Magick, but I kind of thought about that, right? What a sneaky way to make something that's innocent, harmful.
There's a brand, oh my god, I cannot remember, but one of my friends gave me a nail polish that the person that made it specifically under a full moon in Gemini. So anytime that I wanted help socializing, convincing people and stuff, I could wear that nail polish. So many ways to do it. But specifically with Holes in that plot, I could see that more as defensive or self-defense magic.
Correct. Yeah. Well, that wasn't even magic. I mean, that was actual, venom in the.
But if someone made the intention of I'm gonna put this venom so people don't fuck with me anytime I wear this nail polish.
Yeah. So, totally sidetracked. But what did you think of the movie?
It was so good. It was so cute. I'm really surprised I haven't seen it before.
It was a great movie. Yeah. So those are my two examples. I don't know if they were hit the nail right on, but I think they're semi-related, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Any examples from your end?
I think I already gave examples, but yeah, I used to do more Glamor Magick pre-COVID. I'm really trying to get back into my routines, not post-COVID because we're still in COVID, but I work from home. We have a vaccine that actually exists now if you get it. I don't know. It's just different than it was in like 2020, 2021, even 2022, because we live in California where the restrictions were like a little bit stricter than other states.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get back into it. Today, I got my face waxed from my friend at Luna Beauty 222, and I was just like, I used to like have a schedule of all this shit, all of these services. I'm like, damn, I miss this. So I'm gonna start upkeeping for sure.
And then tell the listeners a little bit about your event coming up.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I told myself, don't forget, and then I forgot. So my friend Vanna and also Muse in our local coven is going to be leading a Glamor Magick workshop, which I thought was like perfect timing. And she's actually going to teach us how to make like a lip balm / lipstick thing, some lip product from scratch. And we're going to like enchant it with a spell. And then we get to choose like our specific colors and our specific essence. It's going to be really cool. So I'm going to have one more thing to add to my Glamor Magick arsenal.
Do you kind of know what your intentionality is going to be on that?
I think I already have a lot going for me in terms of like money magic. So I think I maybe want to do some more like I don't know, like siren, for a lack of a better word. Like
Siren?
I just want to seem like more, like I want to bring my inner beauty to my outer vessel. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. Kind of like you talked about. Oh, cool. Yeah, I feel like you're always doing, money is a big one. And then just from the things that I watch you do is like good vibes, good luck, things like that. So that's a first. So you're stepping a little bit out of your comfort zone. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think my my North Node is in my second house of Scorpio.
What the hell does that mean?
Yes, let me explain. So North Node is something that you're always like striving for, and your second house is the house of money. And then specifically with like Scorpio, it's always feeling like you never have like enough of it. So that's why like immediately once I learned like magic, my first was like, where's the cash? But now I'm like, okay, let's try to like explore other types of magic.
Diversify your magic portfolio.
Diversify the portfolio. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, almost like I want to create a filter for IRL with this Glamor Magick.
Oh, that's exciting. I think I'm going to actually go with you. I don't know if I'll participate because I don't want to take a seat from anybody, and sounds like it's going to be pretty successful, right? Most of the seats are already taken?
Yes, we only have 4 spots available, and it is free. So.
Oh, okay. So if you're in the local area, reach out to Genesis and maybe there's a spot available.
Yes, I just checked this morning and we have 4 spots available. But yeah, it was a seat of 30 or like a limit of 30. So yeah, they went quick.
That's incredible. Yeah, maybe if they don't go, then I'll join because it's just a lip balm, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like a lipstick.
Yeah, you can make it sheer. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, well, that was a wonderful explanation. We do have a couple of questions, and thank you so much for submitting these. I really appreciate it. I thought we were going to have no questions. We haven't had questions in a while, so I'm really happy about this. And it's the same people who contributed stories, so thank you so much. Mercy, we got to get you a sticker. We got Janet one, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's another thing, Mercy. Hopefully you can come over, or if not, we'll send you one. So anyways, I digress. Janet said, "This isn't a question, but I would like to share that ever since I began my craft, I feel that I look younger than what I looked like 7 or 8 years ago." That's awesome. I think that's right. That's the eternal sickness is youth and keeping yourself young. I am kind of curious, though, maybe Genesis, you can explain this. When they say their craft, do they mean their like metaphysical craft, or are they referring specifically to Glamor Magick?
I believe Janet is talking about just magic in general, not just Glamor Magick. But honestly, when you walk in your truth and you're you're living authentically and you no longer feel like you have to hide. I just feel like your happiness radiates and it just shaves years off of you. Like, for example, your mom is one of the happiest people I have ever met.
I mean, she's all right.
Despite being a Scorpio, she's one of the happiest people I've ever met. And like, oh my goodness, like she looks 10 to 15 years younger than she actually is.
Okay, not 10 to 15. I'll give her like 3 or 4.
You're like, tampoco.
Tampoco, no exageres.
No, I think she does. Your mom is freaking beautiful. That's her own glamour magic. But yes.
And she's actually not a big makeup person. Yeah, she's anyways. So, okay, yeah, that's awesome. So, I would like some clarification though, Janet, if maybe you meant maybe they do glamour magic and we just don't know. But that's wonderful. Yeah, I think what you said is spot on, right? I think when people feel comfortable, they're not worried about like external perception and then needs, right? Basic needs. A lot of our stress just comes from surviving. It's not always like big things. It's, man, am I going to make the mortgage? Is there food in my fridge? And once you can establish those just basic needs, like Maslow said in Maslow's hierarchy, you can really thrive. So obviously, Janet is at a place in her life where she's able to explore and really dig deep into the things that make her happy, including her crafts, right? So that's wonderful. I'm really, really happy for you, Janet.
And then side note, so Janet, or I did a reading for Janet yesterday, and it was a synastry reading, which is looking at two people's birth charts over each other and seeing how they overlay. Because you won this giveaway, I can now do a composite reading for you. And the difference is this is your relationship as a whole. So how does your relationship as a whole speak? How does your relationship as a whole manifest? How does your relationship as a whole, provide discipline and structure? Like, so now this second reading for you, I can look at your relationship as a whole instead of how do these two individuals, work together.
Awesome. So Janet, please make sure to reach out to Genesis. It sounds like you have some pretty good stuff coming your way. Alrighty, the next two questions are from Mercy. Shout out Mercy. Thank you so much for all your wonderful support, like I've already mentioned, and I'm not going to get tired of mentioning it. Mercy says, what advice do you have for beginners interested in exploring glamour magic? So I'll take this one since I'm an expert now. Yeah, I think like Genesis said, don't go out and break the bank. I'm very guilty of this. Anytime there's something I'm really interested in or like I want to explore, I'll go and just like buy it and, maybe. But I'm never regretful. I've never taken on something that I'm like, man, I shouldn't have spent money on that if it's like an experience, because you learn and there's only one life. So, enjoy it. Do the things that attract you. So I would say maybe don't break the bank and do what Genesis said. Start with what you wear, what you use. I know you have a little one, so maybe even with some of their like toys or things that you used to interact with your little one, just look around your house, the things that you use the most, and charge them, put intentionality behind them, and you should be good to go. Genesis, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, just, it doesn't have to be like a brand new thing. You could just like, if you have, 3/4 of a lipstick that you really like and you're like, ooh, I could use it for this. Like, yeah, just charge it whichever way you want to charge it. And then moving forward, that when you wear that, you're trying to bring in, project, attract XYZ.
Yeah, definitely. And then can you share any personal experience or success stories with Glamor Magick? Well, I've never done it, but I went over my examples. But you, Genesis?
Yeah, so I feel like back when I was actually doing it, I did feel more success in like what I was trying to bring, which a lot of it was like persuasion, specifically around like economic opportunities or networking. And now, like I said, I'm getting back into it, but what has really stayed was the perfume that I use for special occasions, and I feel like it just makes the special times more special, more fruitful.
Awesome. Alrighty. Last couple housekeeping things. Next week's topic is going to be spiritual scammers. We're going to be talking shit, basically. No, but I'm excited for this one because I think this is one where I'm going to go in pretty hard. So, spiritual scammers. And then, you want to tell the listeners about our format a little bit?
Yeah, so now we're going to release the topics a month in advance. So I'm going to make a post with spiritual scammers plus all of our topics for March. And then it'll just be one post where you can comment. And for March, the topics are going to be water magic, eclipses, spring equinox / Aries season / Ostara / Easter. But we'll just call it spring equinox, and then ghost hunting.
Perfect. All right. If people want... Oh, actually, really quick. Y'all, our merch is still available. We had a few orders. Thank you so much for everybody who ordered. But if you're still interested in getting some of our Mexican candy designs, go ahead and do that. We have some really cool stuff on there. So, we'll leave the link in the description.
And then if you want to get a hold of me, my Instagram is Jen Kahlo, GenKhlo. Or if you prefer to email me, tarotwithgenesis@gmail.com.
Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much for listening.
Remember, the magic within you makes the world a more beautiful place. Blessed be, and signing off.